Bike cleaning is something that I get asked about a lot, which is understandable, because whether it's a £5,500 Interceptor or an £11,000 Triumph, to the owner it still represents a huge investment, and keeping the bike clean, cosmetically neat and tidy and rust free is as much a part of a bike's servicing as changing the oil and filter or doing anything else to it. Cleaning it correctly preserves the metalwork and the paintwork. It allows you to spot and correct problems. Rust and decay bites into the value of your bike, shortening the bike's overall lifespan and giving a prospective buyer room for haggling when it comes to the point where you may need to sell it. Not only that, if the bike looks good, it makes you feel good. Now, I did actually publish a comprehensive cleaning guide about 2 years ago, and although that video is still live, it's been sort of swallowed up by all the other videos that I've produced in those 2 years, and understandably people often can't find it, so I'm constantly being asked, when are you going to do a cleaning video on the Interceptor? I think I must be getting at least one request a day, so I thought that it is high time that once again I do a full comprehensive cleaning video. Now, this particular video is just about cleaning the bike, how to get it clean the right way without causing any problems to the bike's electrics, and in a way that will preserve the finish of the bike, keeping everything as pristine as possible. Next week I'll be doing a second video, a detailing video, demonstrating what materials, chemicals and waxes to use in order to protect your bike from the elements. So bear that in mind while you're watching this video. This is purely a cleaning video, nothing else. Now, as I've discussed before, I do have a background as an automotive panel beater and sprayer, an occupation that gives you a unique insight into the perils and pitfalls of what can happen to paintwork and chrome if it's not looked after properly. In fact, I would say that about 50% of the jobs that came into my body shop were to rectify damage that was quite simply caused by neglect or incorrect cleaning methods. And as a result of that, over the years, I've put together what I refer to as a non-contact cleaning method. A method that has become quite famous, a method that's become known as the full Fillingham. A method that allows you to quickly and efficiently clean your bike to return it to that showroom condition the way it was when you first picked your bike up. Actually, that's not accurate. Better than showroom condition, because most dealerships nowadays don't put an awful lot of effort into detailing bikes before they're released to the customer. Now, there are plenty of bike washes available on the market. Some are cheap and cheerful, some are not. Those at the cheaper end of the market are cheaper because they usually contain a lot of salt. Salt is used as a cheap surface actant or wetting agent to assist with the cleaning process. The problem is salt is also corrosive. It etches into the paintwork, it bites into alloy and chrome, and quite a lot of the damage that it causes is where you can't see it. Inside frame tubes, underneath the tank, in between fasteners, areas where it's not possible to thoroughly rinse it out after it's been applied. Now, I have found out quite recently that my long-term favourite bike cleaning product now contains salt. I'm presuming that it didn't before because the manufacturer assured me it didn't, but it does now quite clearly show, albeit that it's in tiny writing, that it contains salt, so I've stopped using it. I don't recommend that product anymore. Now, what I have been using for about the past 8 months is Silcoline Wash Off. I do actually think it works better than the product that I used to use, and that's not just my opinion. I've spoken to other people that have started using it, and they also think that the results are superior to the product that I used to use. Now, it does contain a complex blend of very effective cleaning agents, but rest assured, none of them are salt. I've spoken to the manufacturer, I've checked the health and safety data sheets, and it doesn't contain salt. Now, it's not the cheapest product on the market because it doesn't contain salt. But no one ever said that running a motorcycle was going to be cheap. You get what you pay for. You can buy it in the 1 litre containers, or you can get it in the bulk 5 litre containers. Like a lot of Silcoline products, I do believe the little bit extra expense is well worth it. I'm not saying you have to use this, but what I will say is make sure that the cleaning product that you're using is absolutely 100% salt free. Now, I can't overemphasize how important it is that you use salt-free chemicals. During our English winters here, when the council has been putting particularly heavy loads of salt on the road, and that salt mixes with rainwater and melted ice or snow, they reckon that that is around about a 5% salt solution, and we've all seen what damage that can do to our bikes and our cars. Some of these cleaning solutions are round about the same 5% salt solution. So whatever you buy, check the label, check the manufacturer's website, make sure that it absolutely contains no salt. Right, next thing, do not under any circumstances use a jet washer. Jet washers are good for cleaning the slime off your patio, they're good for cleaning tractors and plant machinery, they are not good for cleaning motorcycles. Some of these power washers work at 1,000 or 1,400 pounds per square inch pressure. That is going to force water into places it is not supposed to go. It's going to get through seals, it's going to blast grease away, it's going to push water into your axles and all sorts of nooks and crannies where you absolutely do not want it to be. Leave your jet washer in the cupboard, in your garage. Do not use it for cleaning your bike, even though the manufacturer might recommend that you can. Next up, hot sunny days. Polishes, waxes, cleaning solutions, even water dry out very quickly under hot sun, and they make the cleaning process more difficult. Get your bike into the shade and make sure that the surfaces that you're about to clean are cool. Now, dispense a small amount of salt-free car shampoo into a clean bucket and add 3 or 4 litres of clean cold water. Take a clean wash mitt and leave it to soak in that solution while you get on with the rest of the bike. Using a hose pipe at normal mains pressure set on a fine spray, give the bike a good thorough soaking, starting at the top of the bike and working your way down. This part of the process will wash away a lot of the grime, but that's not the aim of the game here. It's just to give it a good soaking, rehydrate all the squashed bugs on your windshield, headlamp and paintwork, and rehydrate any dried on mud. When you've done that, while the bike is still good and wet, go over the entire bike with your chosen cleaning solution. Again, starting at the top and working your way down. There should be no need to touch the bike at this stage and agitate anything. Just let that solution soak into the dirt and do its job. Then, using the same technique with your hose, rinse it all away. Now check your bike. Look the bike over in detail and identify areas where the dirt is still present. Then, using your cleaning solution, go over the entire bike again, this time paying particular attention to those heavily soiled areas, places like your swing arm and the bottom of the engine block. If necessary, just using your hands, don't use a wash mitt or a cloth, gently agitate those heavily soiled areas just with your bare hands. Don't at any time allow this cleaning solution to dry out on your bike. It needs to stay liquid. If it does start to dry out, reapply. This Silclean wash off is really effective, and I've never yet had to go over it a third time, but if you need to, do it. Rinse the bike off thoroughly, and then using that salt-free shampoo and your clean wash mitt, gently go over your tank, your seat, your clocks and controls, and allow that shampoo solution to drip down over the bike, but don't let it dry out. Now, dried out bugs and flies can be a problem to remove from places like your fly screen and your headlamp, or even the front portion of your fuel tank. Do not be tempted to scrub away at these. Take a couple of workshop wipes or if you don't have them, just kitchen roll. Thoroughly soak it in your shampoo solution and then stick it onto that heavily soiled area of your bike and leave it for about 5 minutes. Again, don't allow it to dry out. This will rehydrate those insects, and when you take it away, a quick wipe and they'll come off with ease. As we all know, insects have a calcium carbonate based outer shell, even flies do. And if you break this up by scrubbing, it will scratch plastic and paint. This is the safest way to remove it. Now, this shampooing stage is optional. It's not, strictly speaking, necessary. And it is the only time really that you should be contacting the bike with any form of wash mitt or cloth. Because by this stage, any grit that's been stuck to that bike will have been washed away. I just found that by adding this shampooing stage, it does take away any risk of streaking that would require extra pressure in order to remove it while you're drying the bike off. It is, if you like, a sort of an optional finessing stage. So once you've done that, give the bike its final thorough rinse, making sure that you've removed your wash off and your shampoo solution completely. Then take a clean microfiber car drying towel. Don't use a chamois leather. Dirt gets ingrained into a chamois leather, you can't clean it off, and then it scratches your paintwork while you're drying. And then thoroughly but gently dry the bike off, again starting at the top and working your way down. Now, I know that people like to use airlines to dry the bikes off, or one of those bike dryers. That's fine if that's what you want to use. I'm old school. I like to use this method. It's my thing. You do what you like. Now, water traps can be a problem, so here's a tip. Take your bike off its stand and lean it over as far as you safely can on both sides of the bike, just to release any water that you may not have been able to get access to. When you've got it dried off, start your bike up and allow it to idle for about 10 minutes. This will produce enough heat to boil off any water that's sitting in cavities around the engine, any moisture that's still in areas that you can access with a towel or with a blower. And that is basically it. Your bike is now clean, and once it has completely cooled down, it's ready to be waxed and to have the necessary dressings put onto it to not only protect it from corrosion between now and its next wash, but also to inhibit the build-up of dirt in between washes, and of course protect against corrosion. Right, do's and don'ts. First of all, do dry underneath your seat. Despite being covered up most of the time, it does get pretty grimy under there, and it also gets pretty wet when you wash the bike. Also, give the underside of your seat a wipe down. Now, this happens to all of us. If you happen to drop your wash mitt or your drying towel, stick it to one side to be washed and get a fresh one. It's always worth having a couple at least of each. The same with your drying towel. If you happen to just brush the floor with it while you're cleaning the lower parts of the bike, they will pick up dirt and grit, and then you'll end up rubbing that into your bike, which is potentially going to scratch it and cause damage. Cleanliness of the tools for this job is essential, and when you're finished, put all your cleaning equipment, cloths, towels and wash mitts in the washing machine and wash them. Do not use fabric conditioner. Once you've started your engine for that final drying out process, do not go near the bike again with a microfiber cloth until it has fully cooled down. The amount of people that contact me in a panic because they've melted part of a microfiber cloth on their exhaust downpipes is quite unbelievable, and I've got to admit I have done it myself. So once you start that engine up for its final drying process, don't go near it with a microfiber cloth again. Right, so that is my cleaning method. A method that I've developed over the years, spanning well over a decade, probably close to 2. It's a method that works, and it's a method that provides results that people do notice. A method that I'm quite proud of. Now, there are other people that have appeared on YouTube claiming that this is their method and they thought it up, although strangely they were all published after my original video. This is the method known as the full Fillingham. I can't remember who actually came up with that name. Actually, it isn't. This is a half Fillingham. The full Fillingham is when I've finished the complete job, which will be in the next video. It's also a method, so I'm told, that some Triumph dealerships are recommending to new customers when they ask for advice on cleaning. So you take from it what you will. Once again, thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you've found it useful. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Now I'll have a rummage around on Amazon and see if I can find some of the materials and cloths that I've used in this video, or at least something very similar, and I'll leave links in the video description down below. But whichever cleaning chemicals you choose to use, if you only take away one thing from this video, that is that it should be totally salt free. I'm taking a break now. I won't be back till next week, when we'll be looking at waxing your paintwork, protecting your frame and engine, and no, I didn't forget about the wheels. I'll also be showing you my method for cleaning excess lube off the back wheel, how to get it off the easy way. So until next time, ride safely and I'll see you soon.